Hello, people who are listening to the recording. So, I legitimately do not like how much people smiled in the last few chapters. Apparently, they're only going to smile once in this, which is good, because here's the problem, right? There's a neutral tone you kind of want to have where you deviate from. You want to have a sort of a level, and from that level, things deviate. Emotionally speaking, tonally, you want to deviate from that. So, in, say, Ranger in the Fog, the sort of tonal median is either unease or dissatisfaction or self-loathing. That way, when someone smiles and they are happy about something, it means something. It also means that if someone is smiling, you, the reader, are like, are they really smiling? Because, like, this ain't fun. You know, you can do something with that. The problem is, if everyone smiles all the damn time, it comes across like Disneyland. It's, do these people experience any other emotions? Are they capable of being sad or upset or just anything? Like, and the bigger problem, I think, that I just realized is, why isn't Olivia the POV? The last chapter was so much Olivia, 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 Olivia. Why isn't she the POV? It really reads like the author was like, I actually want to write the story about Nasser and Olivia hooking up. You know what? Fucking go for it, champ. But don't write it from, like, someone else's perspective. It's so weird. And they give Anon fucking satellite dish ears so we can listen in on conversations. That, like, if you write a story like that from the perspective of Olivia and Nasser, it works so much better. Because now you can have the shitty Nasser scene where he talks to the dad, and the dad needs to wash his fucking glasses with how much reflection they're giving off. But you can just have that be in the scene, instead of having to awkwardly describe Anon describing the situation. You know, that kind of second-hand account is so awkward if it happens in the moment. It works way better if Anon tells someone else about it. I'm just saying that, like, you can keep that idea, but it works better if Anon is telling someone else what he heard. Because that way, you know, it doesn't feel as material. And it feels... I just feel that between the smiling and the fact that this clearly is Olivia's story at this moment, like, Anon is just... He's the B-plot. Anon is the B-plot. The bottom plot. The gay plot. Sorry. But now that we're done with that, that was 2 minutes of me yelling. That way you know that if you're still watching, you know what you're in for. Sorry to tell you. Counter. My smile looks like... Yes! And people with non-conventional smiles help add to the tension of a scene. This idea that maybe the smile is fake, maybe they're happy. Oh my god, I'm so relieved this person finally had a reason to smile. You know, that kind of stuff. Olivia Garden, you will give up your kneecaps for these breadsticks. Hell yeah. I don't think you understand how good these breadsticks are, man. Ace. I'm going to put it to live chat, because I hate it when it's set to the other one, because at some point, invariably, someone doesn't go on up. Anyway, Olivia had a migraine, and her brain broke, and she gave Nasser a picture. Like, so much happened last chapter. I don't even know what happened, but basically, the entire fucking love arc happened, and they were smooching, and they smooched, like, a couple of times, and they smooched at a weird time, and then they tried to have what pretty much is like a first kiss scene. Like, mechanically, it's way too many chapters happening at once. But in hindsight, it was something, and now we finally get to go to a different kind... Like, I get it if you want to write a romance, right? But the fun thing about a romance is the will they, won't they. It is the tension. The reason I give a shit is because there's the opportunity. Like, either you have the chemistry, and they don't really have a lot of chemistry, or the tension. And if you don't have the chemistry, you need the tension, and it had neither. Like, the whole scene with the handing over the picture is set up in a way where you're like, they're just gonna hand over the picture, and it's not a big deal. And then they just fucking don't do it. It's such a... What are you even foreshadowing, my man? You know how you set that scene up? You have Anon find the picture when Olivia's like, I gotta go do a thing. And he's like, hey, you forgot this thing. And she's like, uh-oh, that's a way better Chekhov's gun for that situation, I'll tell you that much. It doesn't feel as like, okay, then why did it happen anyway? Because in one situation, they literally address the concept. I know, you can still forget, but you're writing a story, not writing reality. Sorry to tell you, but history is fucking stupid compared to good writing. That's just how the cookie crumbles. Oh, no, it's been 5 minutes. Well, I guess the people who are listening are very angry. Let's get to it. We took Olivia everywhere to figure out what was wrong over the week. Yeah, well, problem with that sentence? It implies the week is what's wrong, as she briefly withdrew from school. You're going to want to rewrite that a couple of times. In my defense, I used to know a painter guy who got crippled inhaling paint fumes. To every doctor, to every one of their referrals, to every referral. I feel this again doesn't work. I feel like you should include, we went to every doctor, and to every one of their referrals, And to the, I see what he's going for, but the setup's a bit clumsy. It's a bit rickety. And they all knew jack shit about what was affecting Olivia. I mean, if she had a migraine, it's like neurological, you're fucked. Sorry to tell you, buddy, but neurological diseases are like, we know a lot more than we used to, but, uphill. The only conclusive summary that they could give was that it was a neurological disorder, affecting the nerves that control the lower half of her legs, which of course meant there was no cure, just speculation and advice on how to live a new life. They said that because you're too fucking poor to afford the cool robot legs. We exited the doctor's office. Can I... Like, I get what you're going for, but I feel this works a little bit better if you add some cool contrast, you know? I don't know how to do this better, but this feels a bit too much like you just took the description, the very blunt description of 2 comic panels, compared to, you know, just letting the energy of the panels, compared to the description of the panels, you know? Like, the thing a lot of people who write stuff, like this guy in particular, gets wrong is the reason the glasses glint when he does that thing is that is supposed to communicate something that in writing you have to communicate differently. You can't steal music from a fucking movie and expect it to work in writing. Like, a lot of visual shorthand just doesn't translate properly. It just feels weird. It's like, wash his glasses! They're so dirty! They reflect everything! Dad, anti-glare glasses do not work like that. Jesus. You're blinding everyone on the road. We exited the doctor's office with Olivia in her new wheelchair. I personally feel, first, most important, she would have gotten that wheelchair from the first fucking doctor. Okay? Olivia, okay? Olivia does not walk around the whole week and then she gets a wheelchair. No, she shows up and then they're like, hey, you should probably get a wheelchair while you figure out how this fucking works. You know? This should have happened like at maybe the 3rd referral. It was like, have you been dragging this woman around town? Give her a fucking wheelchair already, you idiots. I'm just saying that, like, quality of life, if she's been dragged around for like a week, that is just like the week she remembers when she's 20 years old. She's like, why didn't you just give me some crutches at least? Come on. Did they carry her by the feet and the shoulders? You know, like she's going to throw her out of a window? Also, this is just how I want to do this. In writing, this doesn't work for one big reason. You want to have the ellipses after the doctor's office, and then you want to have Anon sort of repeat a sentence, because if he cares, he might just, like, hang up. He's like, with Olivia. Like, you know, communicate that hesitation in his voice, because that's all you have to go off of. You don't have visual shorthand, but you can use structural shorthand. You know, the visual... Blah, 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 blah. Safi, stop giving writing advice. Let's go for it. Dad pushed her forward from behind. Yes, Anon! If you push someone forward, you generally do that from behind, because forward and pushing is... Like, I get what you're going for, but I feel that if you're standing in front of a like, horses pull carts, even if they push into bars to do so. Because that is how the language works. It's really stupid, I know, okay? If I push into a bar that's in front of me, and there's something behind me, I'm not pushing the thing behind me, I'm pulling it forward. Because the location is what matters, and by definition, you can only push things forward. You can technically push it to the side, I guess. But the nature of the push is that it is always forward, because the action of pushing, like, it is parallel to the action, is what I'm trying to say. Pushing and pulling are parallel to the action. They're in line. You can't do them sideways. In a funny sense, you can. You know. But technically, you are always pushing something forwards. You are always pulling something along with you. I feel like this guy needs to know that you can just say she pushed someone along. As we filed out into the hallway. Why are you filing out? Is it busy? My mother is speaking up as she came up beside the baryonyx. Again, you want to avoid having... This is like really... You want to avoid having speaking up and came up. You want to avoid having that double up. Listen. I know that they... I know 7-Up says you can have 7-Ups, but you shouldn't repeat words like that too much. Like those kinds of verbs. It's very weird and specific, but you gotta learn it. If you want to write well. They shattered my legs. Yeah, but the thing is, in your case, if your leg was just shattered for 3 days and that's all they... Like, if they're like, it's just 3 days, don't worry about it. But in Olivia's case, odds were very quickly they found out that nothing was going to work. I'm pretty sure the doctor's like, I don't know how long this is going to take. Here, take it for... Or they would at least tell her to get one. They might not give her one from the hospital, but they would be like, hey, listen, you might want to get something for her. Or maybe the reference is like, this is like the permanent wheelchair. But refer to that, okay? Just including the line, her permanent wheelchair, is does a lot. It's like, okay, she probably had a temporary one before this. Now she has a permanent one. Okay, so they have relented. By the way, the idea of giving her a permanent wheelchair compared to the temporary one also communicates that this is real now. This is a physical thing. Look at this. This is a real step, and they can't go back. And that can. Do you feel comfy there? No, you ask if you're comfortable. You say, "Are you comfortable?" Come on. Do you feel comfy? Do you want to go and play Stardew Valley? Do you feel comfy? Although I couldn't fault Mom for asking, it definitely wasn't the right thing. Anon, your mom has to deal with her daughter being crippled from the knee down somehow. And, like, I don't know what to tell you, man, but I don't think anyone knows what to say. This is one of those situations where life doesn't prepare you for this, buddy. How about we get some sad music? Why is that in there? Yeah, this is a bit more sad. $500? That's almost $500. Actually, that will be... Yeah, that would be less than 500 pounds. I don't even know how the pound is doing right now, so don't quote me on that. I've not checked up on the British pound for a little while. Although I do agree that was not the right thing to say, but not for the reasons you think it is, Anon. How can anyone ever be comfortable with this? Well, she's more asking... Anon, she's asking if the chair is okay. She's literally asking, hey, is this a good chair, or did we fuck up? Because if she's going to be in that fucking chair for a while, it might as well be a good one, you know? Hey, Olivia, does the chair suck ass? Is your ass getting sucked through? But it didn't seem to matter, as the baryonyx barely appear to have heard or registered Joan. I feel like you could just go with registered or noticed and be done with it. Like, you don't need to double up unless you're trying to say some sort of emphasis here. And I don't see what the emphasis is, because this sentence is already fucking long. Simply staring at the metal doors of the elevator. Also, you were already literally just describing her distorted reflection staring back with that exact same look. Yes, Anon, that's how a reflection works. My reflection looked back at me with a smile while I frowned at. How does that work, Anon? When did this magic get introduced? The one... Oh, no. Okay. The problem is, this is fine, actually. The problem is you broke it up in the most awkward of places, and in a way that doesn't really work. Also, if you're doing something like this, you want to have that exact same look that Olivia gave. Because at that point, you're probably iterating. The one that Olivia gave at her parents' funeral, knowing that her life had irrevocably changed. I don't know why. I feel like irreversibly is better. Irrevocably, like, to revoke is an action you take. I would use it. But for some reason, I'm being a little piss baby. Time to turn Olivia into a dreadnought. I mean, putting her in one of those death coffins or whatever they are probably is cheaper. When we got back home, we had to help Olivia up with the small steps into the house, giving us a sudden wake-up call of just how inaccessible our house would now be for the baryonyx unless some alterations were made. And even then, I doubted our staircase was wide enough to fit a wheelchair lift. I mean, that the entire upstairs was now blocked. She can crawl up. In fact, I get the impression that Olivia in Wani is like perfectly content dragging her ass upstairs. And she seems like the kind of girl to just do that for kicks. Including her own room, which was now being discussed. And Dad on the... And I can bring your bed downstairs and then move all your things to replace the... Okay, listen, hold on, I just remembered something. Hold on, someone just showed me this. Hold on. It's a song that I recently was reminded of. It's The Courage the Cowardly Dog. It's a perfect song. It's Olivia! Her legs are in gauze. Well, who made this song? And why did they think it was great? Because it is great. Really bad disco. He's not Santa Claus. He's not Santa Claus. Anyway, I'll put the link out so you guys can enjoy some ancient American culture. I love that song. I love the fucking pipes on that man. That man King Ramses. I wish I could sing like that. Just fucking blow everyone's ears out in a single, well-placed huff and puff. No Stairmaster for Olivia half-folded. No. I don't know, I can bring your bed downstairs and then move all your things to replace the computer room. I like how you had a fucking computer room. But man, isn't it like 2000 and something? Yeah, like 2000 and... they're like 15, 16-ish, right? They're like beginning high school soon? And 2020, and they'd be like 18? So yeah, why do you even still have a computer room? Wouldn't that just be the study? Why is my... Get that out of here. Anyway, I'm gonna have King Ramsay stuck in my head the whole time through. Man and gauze. Dad tried to offer only for Olivia to shake her head. Fine. She then wheeled herself away. Here's the bed in the guest room. Why is the guest room at the on the ground floor, Dad? Well, that way they'll drown and we won't if the house ever floods. Dad really does think ahead. Are you sure? Then how about we at least bring your artist board and pens? No, shouldn't she bring up, like, the pornography that she's been drawing? Come on, Olivia, at least you can do is cover your ass. Olivia was already out of earshot, having rolled into the hallway, up and over to the guest room and shutting it behind her. I would prefer you say slam, unless she's, like, letting it fall. I don't know. Let us in. Let us into her world. How gray is she on the inside? Because we kind of got that here with, like, her expression. And, okay. There was a short pause, because we can't keep things moving, before Mom slowly rested her and against... Her what? Her what? There was a short pause before Mom slowly rested her against Dad's shoulder, gently nuzzling her snout into him as he held her close. What are we going to do? Everything we can. They moved on to schedule another appointment as I looked into the guest room, considering for a moment before bowing my head down, approaching the door. I give a small knock. Hey, Olivia, can I come in? Again, I really don't like this guy does this at all. Also, if you're using a fucking comma to splice your quotes, this does not get a uppercase letter, because this is the same sentence. Fuck you, ellipses, get out of here. Be gone. Again, man loves his pauses. Everything is timed to the second. Again, that is not how you write stories. That's how you direct a script. And even in scripts, you don't write that shit out. That's for actors to decide, or for directors. Not for the scriptwriter. The scriptwriter in like movies and TV shows, go fuck yourself. You write the lines, they do the work. Sorry to tell you, buddy, you don't get that kind of control. Go be a director, or be the actor, I guess. She gives no answer, but I take her silence as a yes, opening the door to peer inside. Hey, good use appear. A wheelchair was empty, the baryonyx having pulled herself onto bed. I imagine she throws herself in with that same joie de vivre she always has, staring up at the ceiling with that same blank expression, reminding me of the first day she'd arrived at our house. You've already quoted this. I feel like this needs a rewrite just to communicate the core idea a bit better, because it feels so clumsy to remind us twice in a weird way, you know? Bring her skin... It's not skin fantasy, it's... Oh, it is? Yeah. It is for affinity. No, it would be skin affinity. It would just be skin affinity, actually. Wouldn't it? You know, some of the... Does anyone even remember So Furry? Because that would be So Skinny, which honestly just sounds like a weight loss website at that point. Olivia, what the hell is this? That's my skin sauna, Dad. You wouldn't get... Actually, again... Technically, furry characters can still exist because there are scaly people and humans, but the fur is still off limits, still fictional. You can still go there. So they probably still have Renard de Fox, which just means Fox the Fox. I have been told. Hey, that's some shit. That's what this all felt like. Like everything was back to square one. I don't say a how are you feeling or how are you holding up, knowing how pointless those questions were. So, So remember, this is an Anon that has been to ending one, okay? He's been at his lowest possible moment, okay? So, just a quick thing. if Anon has that, it's been years, right? And I personally, like, after the... Like, again, this happened when I was like 3 or 4 years old, so it's fucking weird. But you can use this idea, right? Are her parents being adopted? Does it even matter? Couldn't Olivia just been fucking adopted? Like, nothing stops this plot from just being Olivia was adopted, okay? And just, her parents don't matter. They just don't. All that stuff that happened back then, at most set up that Anon learned to play the guitar? Which also hasn't really come up all that much, all things considered. He's boxing now. But point is, what they should have done, right? Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. I don't need the music for this. Follow me on this wonderful journey. As I put on my Sapphire editor. You know, if I was a big fancy streamer and I had like $1 billion or fans, I would get like a hat that just says streamer on it. No, editor. It says editor. I put on my editor hat. And it could be a cheap cap, but it's just like a hat I put on. But okay, what you want to do is Olivia's adopted. That's it. We don't need this Godfather bullshit. It doesn't add anything to the story. It's fucking useless. Just have her be adopted. She's already processed this. So Anon mostly just knows her as this middling to happy person. And then he sees this expression for the first time. And he is reminded of the people at the funeral. He is reminded of Trish and all those individuals who were harmed by his actions to Fang. And then he relapses. This is that moment. Like, everything has been going honky-dory, and all that relentless optimism crashes into him as a result. It's like, okay, Anon. And then you start talking about... Because, you know, he sees Nasser, and he has a little bit of an, no. But, you know, he's trying to be optimistic. He's trying to be happy. He needs to be there for his sister. And then this is the moment where he crashes. That way, the real intensity hits a little harder and doesn't get written off really awkwardly at a really weird stage in his life. Because he's a teen now. It's been years. And... having that wound be old, and he never actually... I don't know. I feel like there's a better way to handle this that more effectively utilizes the punch of she and I share this emotional downbeat. I don't know. I feel like maybe there's an opportunity here that's been squandered by trying to do too many things and like not really knowing who the protagonist is. Again, Olivia's still technically the protagonist. Anon has not taken main character role back yet. He is still secondary to the whole proceedings we're having here. Anyway, a few seconds pass before she slowly rolls up to sit. I know, you're just saying pauses again. If you're gonna do that, at least be like, it took a while before she found the courage to shit up. Let Anon have some opinions, you know. Guess the car crash finally caught up. Olivia Murray. I highly doubt it would take several years like that for that to happen. That's so weird. That is such a, like... I didn't think about this originally, and I need to backpedal, so here we're doing it now. Fuck it, we're doing it live. Which is a funny part of fanfiction writing, is that it's such a living work that it invariably runs into retcons by definition of being written by someone who didn't think about this hard enough. Because, you know, who does? I didn't. Like, Shadow... Ranger in the Fog is a work I'm proud of that I fucking hate, that I want to die already. But, you know, it changed a lot, and probably for the better over time. I know what you was referring... Yes, of course you do, Anon. You've literally referred to that fucking event twice by now. Should have known. I was so lucky to get out with a script. With just a scraped knee. I don't know why. Again, it's been like over a decade. It's such a weird thing to catch up with you in this way. I don't know. Does this even happen? I imagine it could. Given how weird and fucky neurology can be, but, you know. I feel like her migraine should have been played up a bit more, you know, make it a thing where you're, like, slowly catching up on it. Like, she's always had migraines, etc., you know? Olivia's always had migraines. That way, when it actually happens, you're like, oh, there we go. Maybe that's why she likes metal music, because it drones out the headache. Now, you get tied all back into the... And then Olivia slammed her tail against the bedside desk, bending the wood. I'm pretty sure, yeah, there we go. Cracking it down the middle, releasing all her pent-up rage and frustration into the piece of furniture. Her snout curled into a silent snarl. I don't know if curled is the word I use for that. I just slipped because I just love alliterations that go that long. She didn't yell. I mean, she hardly ever yelled, but somehow this was scarier. Not that I ever could be scared of it. Anon, you're a boxer! She swims! You're like a Chad. Why are you afraid of... Why would you ever claim to be afraid of her? You could beat her up 10 times before her tail does anything. Jesus. Not that I can ever be afraid of Olivia. Sad. Like, what you're afraid of is the emotional... Like, I would prefer that this has some self-awareness. Like, what am I afraid of then? You're afraid of the emotional fact that there's nothing you can do. What you're afraid of is you promised to be good for her, to help her overcome her fears, and there's nothing you can do right now, except wait. That's what you're actually afraid of. I don't know if the story is aware that that's pretty much what it's trying to say, but hey. Everyone gets that one for free. Instead, I simply placed a claw on her shoulder, letting her know that I was there. Hey, that's a nice line. I'm pretty sure you stole that from somewhere. I think that's from Snoot Game, even. And she seemed to take definite note of that, maw quivering. I knew I shouldn't have smoked so many packs. Olivia, everyone loves your smoker's accent. This is so sad. Alexa, play a little bit. Alexa, play the penis music. Goddamn penis music. I gently pull her into a hug. Closing my eyes, she seethes into my shoulder. I'm just gonna be a burden from now on. Personally, again, if you're gonna go this angle, you want Olivia to hint at that earlier, and kind of like it be this subtle undercurrent, and this is the moment where, again, for Anon the dam breaks, for her the dam breaks. He's upset because he's like, oh no, this is what bad feelings are like, I forgot about them, whoopsies. And she's like, oh man, I was right all along. And they clash into each other, and they just become this slippery slope of self-fulfilling prophecies. That is really good high drama, where everyone just fucking sucks. It's good music. No, I mean, the title, never mind. But I'll give it a look-see then, later. You won't. How do you know that? Oh no, she's quiet. I feel like Olivia would be a bit more furious after this taking a fucking week. How do you know that? Her voice was soft and weak. Because you're my sister, Olivia. I'll never stop loving you. That doesn't mean she's not gonna... you can love a burden, Anon. That's not what you're supposed to say. I reopened my eyes, noticing Mom... What the fuck are they doing? Let's just spy on this tender moment of our children, when they definitely need some fucking space. The former holding a claw at the end of a snout to hide a... Oh. There it is, the one smile in the entire chapter. Oh no. Oh no! Oh, why did I only get one smile then? I guess I read... Oh, because I read the first number, not the second number. You fucking... We're going back to Smile Town. Although, apparently, the real condensation of smiles is like a ways down. Things are not smiling right now. Smiling friends, be gone.